Well, Dean, South Africa have done tremendously well in the last few series in Australia. What have you learnt from that, and can you keep it going?
Yeah, we've had a pretty good record of late. I've experienced 2 tours here before and they ended quite well for us. But in saying that is the past. But the learnings out of that is one of we can compete and win here. That is a massive positive for us within our group, even though we do have quite a few guys here that haven't played a series yet. It is a positive that we can learn and focus with. Yeah, Australia is a great place to play Test cricket. I feel it's a good balance between bat and ball. Yeah, obviously conditions, we'll have to weigh that up once we get to the venues, but in general they're pretty good conditions for good test playing cricket. So yeah, a lot of positives for us going into the series.
And I suppose for you personally too, mate, you scored a century here in Perth, I think it was, so you can score runs here and you have done.
Yeah, I've also had the other side of it where you don't score runs. But yeah, in saying that, again, comes back to the conditions that we're going to face. Usually pretty good batting and bowling conditions. So yeah, and the disciplines have to be pretty key. That's one thing that stands out for me is you've got to implement the basics and your disciplines, and hopefully the personal results and the team results look after themselves.
Dean, what are your memories of the Gabba?
I've never been to the Gabba.
So there was no scars for you then?
No, none. I don't think any of us have played a test at the Gabba. We've only ever played other test venues, so yeah, it's a lot of new, different environments for us. We haven't played, in my opinion, the big three test playing venues in the Gabba, MCG and SCG, which is exciting times for us going forward.
You touched on it, but you mentioned the not so good. It's obviously your debut down there in Perth. What are your memories of that? A really mixed game because it was your debut, but
yeah, we won. That's all that matters. I'm by no means a guy that focuses on my personal stuff, but we won that test and we won the series, which at the end of the day, that's the most important part of playing the game.
Dean, about a month ago, Faf du Plessis released a book where he refocused on the events of the infamous 218 series. Do you expect any lingering animosity from that series this time?
None at all. Yeah, it was a very tough time for all of us, even though we weren't the guys who got the brunt of everything, but we were part of that, and it was obviously sad events that obviously happened. But I personally don't hold any animosity towards the players that were involved or Cricket Australia. Yeah, unfortunate scenes, but I mean that period is long elapsed, and we've moved forward as a group after that.
We didn't fully realise until Faf's book just how bitter it was. Like it was really on for young and old, wasn't it?
Yeah, unfortunate scenes, as I said. I wish things could have been a lot different. The history between South Africa and Australia when it comes to Test cricket is so rich. The competitive nature is very similar. We both want to go out and win and play a brand of cricket that our countries are proud of. Yeah, it was extremely juicy, even building up to that game in Cape Town. Yeah, it was interesting times, let's put it that way, and hopefully that's been put to bed now.
Why will it be different this time?
Well, hopefully there's no antics going on the field that no one gets busted for. As I said, it was sad to see those events unfold. But I'm pretty sure on the field there's always a bit of spice. There is always. Again, the history between South Africa and Australian cricket is rich, and yeah, we love playing against Australia. We've got a deep respect for Australian cricket. So yeah, hopefully we can put on a good spectacle.
Pat Cummins under a bit of an injury cloud at the moment. That fuels speculation, certainly in Australian media, about who might be a successor if he's not to play. How do you feel about coming up against the like of Steve Smith or
David Warner.
Thank you, mate. Of David Warner in that situation?
Yeah, I mean that's their issues to deal with. I only heard this morning that he's got a niggle. I wasn't even aware of it. I don't even know what the injury is. Yeah, that's their stuff. We can't control that. I'm just trying to focus on what I can do in-house with the South African side. Yeah, whoever successes him, if he doesn't play, yeah, it's again not my decision, but I'm pretty sure the game's going to be played in a certain way that Test cricket's going to be respected in the end.
There's no bad blood?
No, not at all. I definitely don't have any bad blood towards them. Again, what's in the past is in the past. It's happened. I don't hold any grudges whatsoever. Both Smith and Warner, two cricketers I've played against for over a decade. So yeah, I definitely don't have any bad blood whatsoever.
Can I ask you about the quartet? You said you haven't played at the Gabba, which is interesting as it is, but the fast bowling quartet you've brought here, they're going to love bowling there. Just tell us a bit about them and about those bowlers and what they do for your team.
Yeah, we've obviously got Kagiso, Lungi Ngidi, Anrich Nokia, Marco Jansen, promising left-arm seamer, and then we've got a young guy in Gerald Kutsia who's got out-and-out raw pace, which is exciting to have in my change room. I had to face him a few weeks ago, which I'm happy that he's part of our squad now. Yeah, they all bring something different to the table, which is you're always trying to get the balance right. I think KG's career speaks for itself. We know what Nokia does with regards to bringing the heat, but also his skill sets are up there, so he can balance the two different game plans if he has to. Lungi Ngidi's been around where his skill set, and if the ball swings around, he's the one bowler that's going to get the swing out of the wicket. And then Jansen also brings a lot of pace and bounce. I mean, he's 6 foot plus, and yeah, he's our tallest member within our bowling ranks. So they all bring something unique, which is nice to have. When you come to Australia, you want to have a balance of skill, and you want to have that balance as well with regards to the raw pace that they bring to the attack. Yeah, Australia is another great place for fast bowlers to bowl. You get a lot of value if you execute your skills and hit your areas where there's a lot of pace and bounce in the wicket. But again, it's pretty well balanced conditions generally. Hopefully it plays out this way in this series, that yeah, we just get some really good cricket underway.
I guess Rabada, he actually announced himself in the last tour here, especially the first two test matches which you won. He was outstanding in those. I guess you'd be hoping someone else does the same, but fond memories for him. This is where he really did make a mark early in his career. Yeah,
no doubt. But KG, I think his career and his repertoire speaks for itself. He's been a part of our Proteas team for quite some time now. Yeah, again, I think it speaks for itself what he can bring to the table.
Cool, I'd love to take last round of questions.
How's South African cricket going? Because we read a lot about the T20 competition, financially difficult state. Do you feel it's on solid ground? Are you concerned?
I think for the first time in a couple of years now, it actually is at its most stable. We've obviously had a lot of changes with regards to the administrators that we have within Cricket South Africa. Again, us as players, those certain things can't hinder us from performance. We've almost gotten used to those kind of bad headlines, but I think for now it's stabilising quite nicely. We've got a new CEO. We've had a new board now, which are obviously coming in and making good cricketing decisions, and we've got a new director of cricket who's really focusing hard on our Proteas brand. Again, those little things we can't focus on. It's totally out of our control as players. We need to do what we can do to try and get results on the board for us, and that's our currency with regards to cricket. Playing back home is getting performance on a good side for us.
What about scheduling? It's interested in your thoughts on whether Australia playing the West Indies at the moment. Do you think that plays into your hands or plays against you?
Well, that's the scheduling. Can't control that. Yeah, ideally we would have liked to have maybe played a test series before coming here, but it is what it is. Again, it's out of our control, out of our hands. We do have a lengthy period building up to the series where we've got to maximise our facilities that we have. We've got a 4-day coming up soon as well, which we've got to try and maximize and give the players the best chance to obviously get some good results and performances under their belt, and make sure we're best prepared as a squad going into the series. I feel there's a lot of good brains within our setup here, which can give our players the best opportunity to try and perform. So yeah, it is what it is. Again, scheduling is totally out of our hands as players, and yeah, we just got to make do with what we have.
In saying that, the Aussie tap was made to work pretty hard in Perth, and they play again this week. Whether they will play, whether Cummins plays, or whether they rest a couple. So you think it's a good time to get them when you do get them next week?
Oh, I think they're going to be pretty well prepared though, irrespective of what happens in the next game. They've obviously got some good time in their legs with regards to batting and bowling. But again, I'm not focused too much on my opposition. I will closer to the time. For now, we've got to maximise our time that we have here in Brisbane and make sure we give ourselves the best opportunity come the 17th of December. That's my main focus as captain, is to obviously try and utilise what we have at the moment.
And Marnus, how do you get him out, mate?
Well, I guess top of all for the odd bouncer seems to be a good indicator when it comes to playing Test cricket. I don't think that theory has changed at all. Again, he's one of the form batters in the world, and I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of extra spice knowing that he's ex-South African as well. But no, we just got to focus on what we can, and he's a human being. He's also prone to fail as well, which hopefully plays in our hands.
Would you chip away in Afrikaans to him, maybe?
Possibly. My last encounter with him was in a county game, and he spoke Afrikaans to me, and I was like, oh, okay. But who knows? We'll see.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, guys.